Here we are on the last page for this week's preparatory assignment. The first question asks for us to consider three quantitative variables: time study, time TV, and time surf. So we're going to compare these three variables. We're going to compute some measures of center and some measures of spread and compare these three different variables. The data set that I'm using for this video is the fall 2022. So the values that I get in the video are going to be a little bit different than the values that you get when you use the most current data set, but the process is exactly the same. So let's begin. To find the mean and the median, I use the summary stats command, stat, summary stats, columns. So I want to select these three variables, and if you notice in the yellow, if I use the control plus the click, I can select more than one variable. So here's our first one, study time. Holding down my control key, I can select time TV and time surf, and they're all three selected here. Now I hit compute, and very quickly I can see the means, standard deviations, and the medians. So the first question asked which variable had the smallest mean. What is that variable round to two decimal places? The smallest mean, so we have 16.2, 7.9, and 36.0. So this is the largest. Time surf is the largest mean. The smallest mean is time TV. Time TV is the smallest, and that was 7.9. Next, what variable had the largest median? The median, study time is 12, TV time is 5, and then 25 is time surf. That is our largest. And the median was 25. Next question asks what variable had the largest range. Okay, so this is measure of spread. The mean and the median are measures of center. The range is a measure of spread. Largest range, we have 80, 60, and 168. 168 is the largest. So for this data set, this is 168. Next question asks which variable had the largest standard deviation, and that is this column here. So we have 12.6, 9.2, and 33.8. So it's time served again. Time surf, and that value was 33.8. The next question, we want to compute the mean for tattoos and tattoo $sign. So this is a filtered variable. We go to the data set and we look at the raw data. Here's tattoos, here's tattoo $sign, and this is a filtered variable, so any zeros are not in the filtered variable. So this is the response for only people who reported having a tattoo, and then this variable is the responses for all students. So to compute the mean, I go to summary stats, columns, select both tattoo and the filtered variable. So I'm going to hold down my control and click. Now hit compute, and the mean for tattoos is 2.4. The mean for tattoos $sign is 5.9. 2.4, 5.9. Explain why they are different values. Tattoo $sign does not have any zeros. So of course that's going to have an effect on the mean, and this is why this number is larger. If you wanted the average number of tattoos for the typical Cincinnati State student, you would report which value? Well, we're talking about all the students, so that would be the 2.4. If you wanted to know the average number of tattoos for Cincinnati State students who have tattoos, well, you'd want the filtered variable, and that is 5.9. That's only students who have a tattoo. So the average number is almost 6 tattoos. Question number 3, should we compute the mean, median, or mode for the time cell variable? If you're asked the question of using the mean, the median, or the mode is only used normally for qualitative data. This is quantitative data. And which one do we use, the mean or the median? Well, that depends upon the shape. So to answer this question, I need to look at the shape for this variable, and a histogram is the best graph to use. So I'll go to graph, histogram, and then scroll to time cell, and then now hit compute. We see this is a heavily skewed right distribution, and if it's skewed right, we want to use the median for the measure of center. You use the mean if it's symmetric. So, performing our summary stats command, we want to find the value of the median, and in this case it is 65. So M equals 65. Number 4, should we compute the mean, median, or mode for variable gender 2? If we go to the raw data, so here's variable, this is qualitative data, and gender 2 is just a recoding. If you are a female, this is coded a 1. If you're male, you're coded a 2, and if you pick other, it's coded a 3. So even though these are numbers, this is still qualitative data. So since gender 2 is qualitative, we want to use the mode for the measure of center. So we go to Stat, Summary Stats, Columns. We select the variable, gender 2, and then this time we want to scroll till we find the mode. And then we hit compute. And here in the window we see that the mode is equal to 1. We want to double check. We can use our table command. If we go to tables, frequency, select gender 2, or we could select actually both, and then hit compute. We see that there's more females than the others, of course, for both variables. So since we are using gender 2, 1 is the most often. That is going to be our measure of center. There's not a symbol for mode, so you can just type mode equals 1. Question number 5, find a quantitative variable that is skewed right. Hint, use a histogram. That is our best graph for identifying the shape of a distribution. So skewed right, the first one that comes to mind is age. There are others, but let's look at age. If I go to histogram, select age, hit compute. Yes, that is skewed right. Also time cell was skewed right. You could use that, either one. If you want to identify a different distribution that is skewed right, you are more than welcome to explore. Next, they want us to compare the mean and the median, and I could use the summary stats command, but I can also go to edit, and then where it says markers, select the mean and the median and hit compute. And here we can see that the mean was 23.9 years and the median is 21 years. Because this is skewed right, the mean is going to be more to the right. It's always going to chase the tail. So the mean is going to be more to the right, it's going to be larger. So on a number line, bigger numbers are more to the right. So the mean is greater than the median. Next question, number 6, asks us to find a variable that is skewed left. So if I go to options and edit, let's try Cincinnati. We'll leave the markers on, hit compute, and this is skewed left. Now notice that the mean is now to the left of the median. The median is 75, the mean is smaller, 68, it's more to the left. So the mean is smaller. And our last question, find a quantitative variable that is symmetric. I go to options and edit. Children's going to be skewed right. We could try shoe size or we could try height. They're probably both symmetric. Hit compute. Yeah, that's roughly symmetric. These are very close. 67 for the mean, 67. Yeah, these are very close. So we have height. We could also try shoe size. Shoe size 3. Again, it's symmetric. They're a little bit more different, but roughly the same. A median of 9 and a mean of 9.2. So either variable would work. And they're very close. So I'm selecting that they are approximately equal. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.